To me, there's no greater responsibility for government than ensuring the safety of the American people and those who protect us all. And that's you. God bless you all, and may God protect law enforcement.
From the largest and most impactful law enforcement event of the year, 16,000 public safety professionals engaging in new ways to network, advancing their careers and equipping their departments for success. This is the International Association of Chiefs of Police 2022 Annual Conference and Exposition, and this is IACP-TV. Hello, I'm Stephen Horn, your host on this fourth and final day of IACP-TV 2022. It's been a transformative week here in Texas, and there is much more ahead today as we take you to the finish line. Coming up today on IACP-TV.
If you make it a normal part of your business, that we just check in for a little support session once a year, and you can kind of gauge or take the temperature of where your officers are. And just that one proactive step could actually save some lives.
We're highlighting the efforts to prevent police suicides, a tough topic to address, but a top priority for IACP officials.
I get to change lives and make a difference, so we want people to feel safe and that they can come to us and know that we genuinely care because it's our community too.
And we wrap up our tour across the country of departments going the extra mile. There's a lot happening here at the Convention Center, so remember, you can always find the latest IACP TV episode right here on the TVs displayed throughout the Convention Center, on the homepage of the IACP meeting website, back in your hotel rooms on the in-house IACP TV channel. Check us out on your shuttle bus ride to and from the Convention Center, and as always, you can find us on our YouTube channel or Twitter feed. We get started today in Green Bay, where else, where the police department serves the third largest city in Wisconsin and prides itself in providing great police service and maintaining the highest standards of accountability, while also importantly looking after its staff, promoting well-being and a supportive work environment.
What makes working for the Green Bay Police Department so exciting is just working with the coworkers within the building, within the community, and just the uniqueness that Green Bay is within the state of Wisconsin.
What makes our work so effective in the city of Green Bay is the willingness of the city officials, city departments, organizations, individuals to partner with us to help and assist with solving problems throughout the city of Green Bay and specific neighborhoods.
The Green Bay Police Department is an innovative, community-oriented, problem-solving department that continually strives to enhance its communications and relationships with our citizens. We are constantly looking to improve the quality of life for anyone that comes to Green Bay and stays.
The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Foundation supplements LVMPD, area commands, special units, equipment, training, and hundreds of community engagement programs and initiatives and crime prevention events that build relationships between law enforcement and the communities they serve.
The LVMPD Foundation supports our police department in being one of the finest police departments in the nation through investments in technology, through investments in community engagement programming, through investments in training. All three are critical in this day and age of policing in providing the strongest platform for public safety and providing our police department with the ability to be the best in its profession.
All of us together working on crimes is what enables us to be so successful. What makes us great is that we stay in front of it. We anticipate it. We come up with new ideas. We don't wait for change to be thrust upon us. We go out and we seek it.
Public safety is a basic human need. I want to ensure that I'm living and working in as safe a place as possible. And I want to help ensure that that safety is extended to everyone, and we provide the ability for our police officers to protect and serve us to the greatest degree possible.
From Las Vegas to northern Nevada now, where the Sparks Police Department is adopting new technology and methodologies to serve a growing community. Let's see what's working for them.
We are really focusing on technology to help improve our policing services. Spider is a platform that actually builds and connects off of our computer-aided dispatch and report management system, and then follows up with the case closure incident number, as well as even a little survey to let us know how we did.
We are trying to do smarter thinking and working, and to me that's the technology and software aspects.
Using this system called Esri, each one of these red dots represents a person that we contacted, so there's almost 1,800 of them. There's if I want to contact my veterans, I can click on a button, and those are all my veterans in the city.
2 years ago, we started to issue cell phones to all of our sworn staff and a majority of our non-sworn, which has allowed a lot of technology to follow them into the field. We have the software of having an assistant that the evidence technicians use. It can run in the background. That will save us a lot of time.
Turning now to today's General Assembly, where the IACP Axon Police Officer of the Year finalists and winners are being recognised for their exceptional achievement.
It's always a pleasure to welcome one of IACP's strongest supporters. Please join me in welcoming U.S. Attorney General Merritt Garland.
I know full well that the Justice Department would not be able to fulfill its mission without the work that everyone in this room does every single day. We have marshaled the resources of the Justice Department to deter and combat illegal threats of violence and violence against law enforcement officers, and to hold perpetrators accountable. You deserve the support and resources that you need to stay safe and healthy. And the Justice Department is committed to doing everything in our power to ensure that you get them.
Thank you, Chief Henninger and Vince, Chief Executive Officer, and the police chiefs and members of the IACP. And I've said time and again, when it comes to public safety, the answer is not to defund the police. The answer is to fund the police, fund you with the tools and the training and the support to be the partners and protectors our community needs. To me, there's no greater responsibility for government than ensuring the safety of the American people and those who protect us all. And that's you. You have really tough jobs. God bless you all, and may God protect law enforcement.
It's now my honor to introduce the recipient of this year's IACP Axon Police Officer of the Year Award, Officer Tadeu Holloway of the Dayton, Ohio Police Department. I would now like to ask each of the 2022 IACP Axon Police Officer of the Year finalists to come to the stage. We thank you all for your service and dedication to the policing profession and for ensuring the safety of our communities.
The Organised Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force was created back in 1982 by Ronald Reagan. For 4 decades now, it's been addressing a myriad of criminal threats and made huge impacts in investigative efforts. Let's take a closer look.
The Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Forces, or OCDF, was created by presidential order 4 decades ago, bringing prosecutors and law enforcement agencies together to attack the command and control elements of the drug trafficking organizations that were moving massive amounts of illicit narcotics into the country. The strength of the OCDF program is in its governance. OCDF prosecutors in every judicial district lead OCDF-designated law enforcement agents and analysts. In all 94 districts, we have groups that nest under 9 OCDF regional directors who, with supervisory agents, direct targeting efforts and manage resources, driving a nationwide task force towards national impacts. It's truly the whole being greater than the sum of its parts.
The Collaborative Reform Initiative Technical Assistance Center, or CRITAC, is providing customized technical assistance to state, local, tribal and campus communities throughout the United States. Here to discuss that and elevate Blue Wellness is Executive Director of Noble, Dwayne Crawford. So let's kick off. CRITAC, tell us what it is.
CRITAC, we have kind of an acronym when we talk about it. It's training for the field, by the field. So you basically have men and women within the law enforcement community who are basically subject matter experts on different topics, who through the Department of Justice and through our work with IACP and other organizations are able to provide this training. So it's actually peers in the field going to agencies across the country and delivering expertise in a range of topics.
So what kind of expertise is available?
Basic things like recruitment, retention, use of force, but even more recently, looking at things like demonstrations and counter-protesters and the handling of that. Of course, de-escalation has gotten more popular in the last couple of years. Officer health and wellness has really increased as far as the need. But it's got to be, I would say, a good 30 plus topics that are out there.
And how much does it cost?
Zero. No, it's entirely free. Basically, any agency can opt in. And there are a team of people that meet each week that will look at the inquiries that are coming in for assistance, evaluate them, discuss strategies to move forward. But it really is open to the entire field.
Let's talk a little bit about Elevate Blue.
So Elevate Blue is really, I think, an amazing effort, and we're almost complete now, of really providing comprehensive training that's curriculum-based, metric-based, that is somewhat similar to CRITAC and assistant topics, but a deeper dive of training across the entire landscape of law enforcement.
It's a very good thing, isn't it, that there is this level of support available?
Oh yes, though these are training modules, are there subject matter topics like CRITAC, it's customizable. That, I think, is also the beauty of this.
Thanks ever so much indeed for joining us and talking us through it. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely.
In the face of large-scale threats like the COVID-19 pandemic, cross-domain data sharing has never been more important in crisis mitigation and relief. The IJIS Institute is at the forefront of this. Let's go to New Jersey now to see how their work is changing policing in the Garden State.
The IJIS Institute used to be known as the Integrated Justice Information Systems Institute. And we have probably for the past 15 years referred to ourselves as IJIS. Because the world changed around us, because 9/11 happened, because Katrina happened, IJIS has risen to the challenge in order to better the operational mission support and focus on what the responders of the justice community and many other domains need.
Whether it's assessments, whether it's policy, whether it's assisting us with operations, IJIS has just been phenomenal. It's not a best practice if you don't share it with those around the country, and I think that's where IJIS comes in and has that ability and that reach and that networking capability to do just that.
Northwestern University's Center for Public Safety is an internationally respected leader in public safety and professional education, offering flexible on-ground and online courses for students in the US and around the world.
The Center for Public Safety was founded in 1936. Our focus areas are highway safety, with our crash investigation and reconstruction programs, and leadership and management. We have 3 tiers of leadership training available to meet the needs of all levels of law enforcement.
Our programs are addressing 21st century learning by combining the theory and the hands-on real-world experiences and practice for each student throughout the course. We also now offer all of our courses online in an online or remote format, which is flexible for students across the globe and, with different priorities in their lives.
We hope that the Center for Public Safety provides an opportunity for lifelong learning for public safety professionals. We want to help them not only in their current roles, but as they advance throughout their careers. We want to give them a place to learn, to grow, and to network.
One of the key benefits of IACP membership is the numerous professional services offered to members and their agencies. Give us a little bit of an idea of which services the IACP offers.
Well, under our professional services, we offer assessment centers and promotional testing for law enforcement agencies. We offer what some would call management studies.
What makes them special?
They customize based on the client's needs. It depends on really what the agency wants. And the other thing that IACP does is they'll recruit subject matter experts with similar expertise to what the agency is looking for.
IACP is a busy organization we can see around us. So why does the IACP offer these services?
They offer it as part of their way of supporting the profession, doing all we can to make sure they have the tools and resources they need to carry out their jobs in this most important function to our nation.
Especially at this time when the profession is dealing with so many challenges, recruitment crisis, retention crisis, trying to regain public trust. The IACP is really committed to furthering and promoting a positive environment for the profession itself.
How do they sign up? How do they get involved?
We have a web page that's just for these type of services where they can reach us, and a staff member will reach right back out to them, or they can pick up the phone and just call the IACP, and they'll make sure they get somebody in touch with them as soon as possible to help them with their needs.
Off to Tempe, Arizona now, where the police department is working with the community to create better pathways to creating fair and impartial policing.
I really appreciate the diversity of the people in this room. You were all selected, as I talked about before, for your passion and your knowledge and your experience and your unique connections to our community.
The Public Safety Task Force that was initiated by the mayor was innovative because it brought together community members, it brought together activists, it brought together a little bit of everybody to have discussions about what was most important to them and how they should be policed.
There were people in the task force that were pro-police, that loved the police, and there were people in the task force that wanted to abolish the police.
That dialogue that helps to create trust and understanding of the different viewpoints regarding what people would like to see with overall community safety in a city.
Since the installation of a public affairs coordinator, the City of Titusville Police Department is now conducting more than 300 community events each and every year. Let's see why they say this is a department that belongs to the community.
For decades, this agency had embraced community outreach programs. There were a number of programs that we're involved in. We really wanted to establish that strong relationship with our citizens. But right around 2015, we just didn't feel like we were hitting the mark enough. We wanted to literally hit every single citizen, have that interaction, that communication, that trust. And so the chief and I were able to hire a full-time public affairs coordinator, which basically ensures that we have that resource to constantly be organizing outreach programs and not be affected by call-outs or crime increases and so forth.
We call it renewing our vows with our community. We never stopped caring for them and loving them, but now we get to show them and illustrate that.
The relationship between the public and law enforcement is as important and challenging as it's ever been. That's why Polk County Sheriff says trust and transparency is paramount. Let's check in with Sheriff Schneider.
PCSO's approach is very much community-oriented.
We see a lot of immigrants, refugees. It's imperative that we reach out to those folks and let them know that the Sheriff's Office is here to help them, that they develop a trust with us.
Our partnership has really transformed our community, and today what you're seeing is youth mental health first aid training, which is a little bit of the training partnerships that we have together.
We provide long-term drug and alcohol treatment.
This program taught me to be a productive member of society.
Every agency that serves the public
needs to have an inclusive face of the population we serve. We're taking tremendous bounds to become a more inclusive sheriff's office for our community.
Preventing suicide within the law enforcement community is a key tenet of the National Officer Safety Initiative. With more now on those efforts are Shelley Jones and Diane Bernhard with concerns of police survivors. Our thanks to you both. Welcome.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit, if you would, about COPS and your role.
We provide support to the family members and co-workers of officers who have died in the line of duty. We'll organize like National Police Week and like hands-on programs for those survivors, as well as scholarships and counseling for the children. I sit on the National Consortium on Preventing Law Enforcement Suicide, and we have important conversations about how to make sure those officers that are perhaps in a place where they're not healthy, how to keep them from becoming members of COPS or survivors of police suicide.
Legislation has changed, hasn't it, recently? Can you talk us through that?
So on August 16th of this year, the President signed a new law. It's called the Public Safety Officer Support Act of 2022. And what it basically did is it made an officer that has died by suicide, but under certain circumstances, those officers' families could be eligible for the Public Safety Officer benefit. And so that is a big change. It's never been like that in the history. And so that's something that we're all adapting and transitioning to right now.
And Shelley's organization has a role with that as well.
We were started by Concerns of Police Survivors, and we work together to help the families of officers who die by suicide that don't meet the criteria of Concerns of Police Survivors. We host weekend retreats for the parents, the spouses, and the coworkers right now. And we also do virtual sessions, and we've held a national conference to honor those officers.
We talked a lot about this week, and mental health is as important, isn't it, as physical health. How important do you think it is for law enforcement to bear that in mind about the importance of mental health?
You know, today it's so hard to find officers. So you have to take extra care of those that you have and go that extra mile. And it's cheaper to get them mental health on a regular basis versus trying to hire a new person.
If you make it a normal part of your business, that we just check in for a little support session once a year, and you can kind of gauge or take the temperature of where your officers are. And just that one proactive step could actually save some lives.
The Colorado State Patrol is honoring the legacy of fallen officers by making significant changes to the way it does business. Changes include more visible uniforms, lighting on vehicles, and using more drones during car crash investigations, all in an effort to keep officers safe.
The biggest threat a member of this organization faces is exposure to active traffic. We had a systemic problem. We had perhaps an organizational culture problem where we were accepting levels of risk associated with what we do and not doing anything to mitigate that. And it was quite literally killing people. So we had a responsibility, I certainly had a responsibility as the colonel of the State Patrol to take action to make this a safer place to work.
Hopefully other families won't have to go through what my family went through.
We will continue to focus on making this a safer place to do a very important and much needed but dangerous job.
Each year, the Right Care team answers thousands of mental health calls. It's a benefit to the patrol officers that it frees up to answer other calls for service. Let's see how this program is making huge strides in mental health care.
The Right Care program, it's a program that we created back in 2017. It's a joint program between the Dallas Police Department, Parkland Hospital, and the Dallas Fire Rescue.
A typical call is someone saying that they want to hurt themselves.
We would talk with them, see what services we can offer, or doing outpatient services and working with our community partners to get him the assistance he needs.
One of the successes for the Right Care program is that we do get a decreased number of repeat callers. We're able to divert clients from jail and from the hospital to actual services.
It's an accessible community mental health program that's mobile.
It's a different way of policing. It's a lot more about linking people with care compared to taking bad guys to jail.
A traditional police response isn't always the best response when it comes to mental illness. We need to bring our partners in to provide a better response to our citizens so that they can get the help that they need.
The Port of Seattle Police Department provides the primary law enforcement service to Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, SEA, and the Port's seaport properties. Let's see how they keep the 42 million passengers who travel through SEA safe each year.
The Port of Seattle Police Department is a phenomenal police department. We provide all the services of a traditional municipal police agency, but we're unique in that we also serve and protect the critical infrastructure of SeaTac International Airport, as well as the seaport along the Seattle waterfront.
We have one of the only practicing canine AirScent groups in the state of Washington. They're very unique in that they are able to track moving targets. If there's a threat or a suicide bomber in the airport, our canines are able to track it to source.
Not only do we handle normal day-to-day 911 calls, we're responsible for the security and the continuity of operations of the cargo moving throughout the Port of Seattle.
These are 2 robots that we have. This is a smaller one that's able to fit on aircraft and buses. This is our larger one that we use outdoors primarily.
So often we respond to persons that are in crisis and are not in their best moments. And so it is really important to show that human side, to connect with people on that level.
From protecting fish and game to responding to emergency search and rescues, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Law Enforcement Division's unique training and equipment makes this a department unlike any other. Let's check them out.
I'm one of the proudest law enforcement chiefs in the country. Our officers patrol 9 million acres of public lands, 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, 3,000 miles of Great Lakes shoreline, plus a lot more. They're dedicated and educated in how to do that, and they do it well.
And the Special Investigative Unit of the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Law Enforcement Division is comprised of veteran officers that are at the detective level. Their main mission is commercial poaching or commercial illegal take of natural resources, primarily fish and wildlife.
I worked in traditional law enforcement for about 10 years, and it was no 2 days were the same. However, it brings a new concept for no 2 days are the same as a conservation officer. Just when you start getting tired of one area of your job, it changes with the season, so it's very nice.
Our officers are some of the most highly trained officers in the state and likely the country. Our officers have the training, expertise, and equipment to do it all seamlessly.
And now, as always, to the most important bit of the program when we ask you what you think. So our question today is, what was the highlight of this year's meeting for you?
Really enjoyable, learning a lot, and actually seeing a lot of people I've met over the years, so it's been a great experience so far.
It's nice to work with people that do my job and have the opportunity to discuss those best practices.
It's been amazing. I've learned a lot. I've learned about case law by attending some of these classes, officer safety, so it's been great.
Well, this is my first time. I think the most shocking part for me was just how big it is to see so many people and so many options available to attend. It's been really great.
I'm a new chief, so I'm really focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion practices, community policing, so I've gone to everything along that track.
Made a lot of connections. Get to see a lot of our colleagues from across the country, discuss issues that we face. Always good stuff comes from that.
The opening ceremony to see the FBI director come, and it was overwhelming for me, being here the first time. I had heard a lot about it, but to be here and to see all the people that are here and all the agencies that participate was great.
Everything's great, learning a lot, doing a lot of good networking, and really enjoying myself here in Dallas.
Weather's been great, and it's warmer than it would be in Alaska right now, that's for sure, so really enjoying it.
you feel welcome and safe here. So it's a good time.
It's great to have an event like this in Texas for sure. We like to do it big. We're a very proud state, and so we can think of no better place to have the International Association of Chiefs of Police.
And that's a wrap on our IACP-TV coverage of the 2022 Annual Conference and Exhibition. It's been an honor being with you this past week, and it's been so good to be back here in person. We hope you've enjoyed the specially curated content, insightful interviews, and General Assembly highlights as much as we've loved bringing it to you. We hope you've enjoyed your time in Texas, and we look forward to seeing you in San Diego for our next annual gathering. And as you head out and head home, remember, you can always find the latest IACP-TV episode right here in the TVs displayed throughout the Convention Center, on the homepage of the IACP meeting website, back in your hotel rooms on the in-house IACP-TV channel, and check us out on your shuttle bus ride to and from the Convention Center. And as always, you can find all the IACP-TV episodes from this week on our YouTube channel or Twitter feed. Safe travels, and we can't wait to see you next year in sunny San Diego.